A song streamed 70 million times might earn an artist just $1,500. Beneath the glitz and glamour, the music industry is failing its stars, leaving even the biggest names grappling with financial struggles. Let's explore the harsh realities behind the facade and uncover why the industry is crumbling from within. The glamour of the music industry often paints a picture of endless riches, but much of that wealth is an illusion. Beneath the sparkling facade lies a far darker reality. Record labels, seen as the gatekeepers of success, often function like high-interest lenders. When an artist signs a deal, they're given an advance that seems like a dream come true. Yet, this advance is nothing more than a loan, one that must be repaid through album sales, streaming revenue, and touring profits. When those streams fall short, the consequences are devastating. The dream of fame turns into a cycle of debt, with even the biggest names struggling to break free. And it doesn't end there. Lavish music videos, expensive marketing campaigns, and flashy promotions all pile onto the artist's tab. Meanwhile, the labels continue to profit, creating a system that looks dazzling but is built on exploitation. It's a reality that's far from the glamour fans are led to believe. An artist often spends months, even years, working on an album, but the financial reality behind its production is far from glamorous. Labels fund everything from recording sessions to marketing and distribution, but every dollar spent comes directly out of the artist's future earnings. Studio time, music videos, and promotional expenses are all deducted before the artist sees a cent. What remains for the artist is usually just 12 to 18% of the royalties, while the label keeps the rest. This means even chart-topping music doesn't guarantee financial stability for the artist. Behind the success, their accounts may be drained, with labels benefiting disproportionately from their hard work. It's a system that favors the industry giants while leaving many artists struggling to stay afloat. Take the case of TLC, one of the most successful girl groups in history. At the height of its fame, with millions of albums sold, they filed for bankruptcy. How could this happen? The answer lies in their contract. A labyrinth of clauses that left them with pennies compared to what their music was generating. TLC isn't alone in this. MC Hammer, known for his extravagant lifestyle, ended up over $13 million in debt. Even Tupac Shakur, whose influence remains unmatched, died with shockingly little to his name. His mother later revealed that the house he thought he owned wasn't even in his name. Prince, too, famously fought against his label, calling record contracts a form of modern-day slavery. These stories aren't just cautionary tales. They're evidence of an industry built on exploitation where even the most talented and successful are left struggling. The illusion of wealth and power masks the harsh reality of financial control and systemic imbalance. But the problem isn't just the contracts. It's the shifting economics of the music business itself. For decades, artists could rely on album sales to generate income. Physical copies like CDs and vinyl provided a steady revenue stream. Then came the digital revolution, and with it, streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music. At first, streaming seemed like the future, offering fans instant access to music from anywhere in the world. But the payout model quickly proved to be a losing game for artists. For every million streams, an artist might only see a few $1,000s, if they're lucky. The lion's share of revenue goes to the streaming platforms and labels, leaving artists with crumbs. Even worse, artists now need billions of streams just to match what they once earned from modest album sales. It's no wonder so many musicians are struggling to stay afloat. And as streaming grows, physical sales continue to shrink, pushing artists further into a financial corner. Did you know that a song streamed 70 million times might generate around $210,000 in total revenue? That sounds like a lot until you break it down. After the streaming platform takes its cut, publishers claim their share, and the label recoups its expenses, and the artist might be left with just $1,500. Yes, $1,500 for 70 million streams. The math doesn't add up, and artists are the ones paying the price. Meanwhile, the platforms and labels continue to profit handsomely, widening the gap between industry executives and the creators driving the content. It's a system that looks lucrative on the surface, but leaves artists fighting to make ends meet. Streaming's low payouts have artists scrambling to find other ways to make money, but even touring isn't the safety net it used to be. With fuel costs through the roof, venues charging more, and inflation hitting hard, the expense of putting on a tour has skyrocketed. Sure, ticket prices have gone up to help cover these costs, but fans just can't afford to pay those prices like they used to. Going to a concert, which once felt like an exciting treat, is now more of a luxury, and for many, it's out of reach. The ripple effect has been huge, with tours being cancelled left and right or scaled back to fewer dates. This means artists are losing one of their most reliable ways to earn, leaving them in an even tougher financial spot. How do you keep your career afloat when the very lifelines you depend on are disappearing? Even some of the biggest names in music aren't immune to these challenges. Artists like Rihanna and Selena Gomez have turned to alternative ventures to maintain their wealth. Rihanna, for example, hasn't released an album in nearly a decade. Why? Because she doesn't need to. Her Fenty beauty line and Savage X Fenty lingerie brand have made her a billionaire. Meanwhile, Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty has become a massive success, with individual products raking in millions. These artists are proving that music, once their primary source of income, is no longer the financial backbone it once was. But not every artist has the means to pivot like Rihanna or Selena. Many remain tethered to their labels, trapped in deals that bleed them dry. Fat Joe, for instance, recently revealed that an album he released over 20 years ago, an album that sold 2 million copies, still hasn't recouped. He owes money to his label to this day. And then there's Method Man, who admitted he's never received a single check from streaming. Think about that. A legendary artist with a decades-long career has earned nothing from the very platform that dominates the industry. If you think it's just older artists facing these struggles, think again. Even today's rising stars are finding it nearly impossible to build sustainable careers. Labels have shifted their focus from artist development to chasing viral trends. They sign dozens of new acts each year, banking on a small fraction of them to become breakout stars. The rest, dropped and forgotten. Just recently, Atlantic Records laid off over 70 employees and dropped multiple artists as a part of a massive restructuring effort. For those who remained, the pressure to produce hits is relentless. In this environment, creativity takes a backseat to profitability. What's even more alarming is how labels manipulate public perception. The lavish lifestyle we see, with designer clothes, luxury cars, and million-dollar mansions, are often illusions. Many of these assets are leased or rented, designed to create the appearance of success. It's a carefully constructed facade that hides the financial struggles lurking beneath, and fans, none the wiser, continue to buy into the dream, unaware of the reality. The truth is, the music industry's decline isn't just hurting artists, it's affecting everyone involved. Executives are stepping down, employees are being laid off, and labels are cutting corners wherever they can. The once mighty empire is crumbling, and the cracks are becoming impossible to ignore. But amid this chaos, a new generation of artists is rising. Independent musicians who are taking control of their careers. These artists are using social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram to build their own brands, bypassing traditional labels altogether. They're proving that success is possible without signing away their rights. Frank Ocean, for instance, famously left his label to go independent, releasing his critically acclaimed album Blonde under his own imprint. Chance the Rapper has also built a thriving career without a label, relying on his fan base and innovative marketing strategies. But the path to independence isn't easy. It requires knowledge, resources, and an unwavering belief in your vision. For every success story, there are countless others who struggle to gain traction. The industry's gatekeepers may be losing their grip, but the road ahead is still filled with challenges. So, where does that leave the music industry? Can it adapt to the changing times, or is it destined to collapse under its own weight? One thing is clear, the old ways are no longer sustainable. If the industry wants to survive, it must prioritize fairness and transparency. Artists deserve to be compensated for their work, not exploited for profit. And fans deserve to know the truth about the system they're supporting. As the music industry faces its greatest challenges yet, one can't help but wonder, is this the end of an era or the beginning of a new one? If this peek behind the curtain has shocked you, let's hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Were you aware of how broken the music industry really is? Hit that like button, smash subscribe, and ring the bell to make sure you don't miss any more eye-opening stories. We'll catch you next time.